Hey everybody, it's Doug Green and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News. And I'm very pleased to have with me Ryan Rose, Learn with Cisco. Ryan, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Doug. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really glad to be talking with you and your audience.
So, Ryan, you've written about Cisco Live on your post, refreshing CCNA, refreshing CCIE, AI in CCIE, and Cisco U. Tell us a little bit about what you do at Cisco.
Oh, well, I feel like I have the best job at Cisco. I get to help people grow their careers. I get to help people learn new things. I've been with this company for about 17 years, and it's one of the greatest things that Cisco is able to do, whether it's through NetAcad or our certifications. And what we just were able to announce was a pretty big deal. It's a major update to our CCNA and CCIE and even the training that we have inside of Cisco U.
Why don't you walk us through that announcement?
Happy to. So I think everybody knows that our certification program has been around for about 30 years. And for me, in my role, I act as the steward for that program. And I'm eager to make sure that that program stays at the cutting edge. And what we've done and what we announced is really our intention of how we evolve both CCNA and CCIE. With CCNA, we really wanted to take an approach that was driving a job-ready approach to skills. I think that as we've been looking at CCNA over time, it was always easy to look at it from a breadth, like a span of knowledge. Now we're looking at it from a depth perspective. And so this new blueprint that came out on May 20th to reflect the exam that will go live in February of 2027 really lines up with that job-ready skill. It's aimed specifically around route and switch tasks. It has a domain that's directly connected to security and a new domain around using AI in network operations and management. Again, our goal was that this is a certification that would line up with making sure that when a CCNA shows up day one, they can do a job. And to kind of help that, Doug, I think you've probably heard this a lot. There's always the paradox of how do you find an entry-level skilled person, like an entry-level talent that's got 10 years of experience, right? Well, we wanted to help try to solve that paradox. And so it's not just what is in the new CCNA, it's the how. And so now our training is built mostly of scenario-based and practice-based opportunities. So that way we can accelerate those kind of on-the-job experiences directly in the training. And we didn't just stop there. We actually then changed the exam itself. So I think for your audience who may have taken CCNA in the past, they might remember it when it was mostly multiple choice, right. Drag and drop, right? Now we've actually worked in practical skill tests into the exam. We call them lablets. And we give you scenarios. It's kind of like a knot that we want you to untie. And that's a part of this entire transformation to really make sure that we aren't just helping to align to those expectations that are coming in from employers and partners and this giant group of people that we've brought in. We had 7 times the amount of people give us feedback on this CCNA. Everything from we want more people that do troubleshooting to have critical thinking skills, right? But we wanted to also then change how we taught it and how we validated that skill. So that way when an employer hires the CCNA, they know that's someone that can do the work, not just have a really great networking conversation. The same thing though, Doug, that's what we did with CCIE. Just like with CCNA and kind of the changes that we see in skill sets, new expectations because of AI, we recognize that we also wanted to give our CCIEs that same opportunity to validate their skills with AI tools. So we announced in May, and it's going to take effect in May of 2027, a new part of our CCIE lab exam. Now, Doug, I'm sure you know, for a long time now, the CCIE lab exam has been 8 hours long. We are now going to take one of those hours, and we're going to make it so that way the candidate can use AI and generative tools to be able to solve or configure or operate, optimize, deploy something. We want to make sure that our CCIE experts have validated skills in how to use these AI tools at an expert level. So an entire deploy, operate, optimize module of CCIE, an entire hour will be dedicated to that IE candidate being able to use AI tools. That's a huge deal because one, it's a major change. That's why we're giving our entire community a year to get used to that. The first CCIE that will change is CCIE Data Center. That'll go live, like I said, in May of 2027. But there's two big points I want to make on that. The first is the inclusion of those AI tools is not to make CCIE some type of open book test. Far from it. It's only for that 1 hour that you'll be able to use AI tools to be able to help solve problems, to be able to test your ability, for example, to use generative outputs like code. And then likewise, the second point, the CCIE, just like all of our Cisco certifications, will be about human expertise. We are never going to step away from that. We want to make sure that whether it's CCNA, CCNP, or CCIE, that those are tests that validate human expertise. Human expertise in using AI, making sure our CCIEs aren't just humans in the loop, but humans in the lead. That's why we're making this change. And then, Doug, to round it all out, I would say that we have then, to try to help everybody get ready for these changes, we have brought a lot of training into Cisco U and also netacad.com. We have a lot of no-cost options to help everybody get started, whether they want to learn about Wi-Fi 7 or spec-driven development. We have so many options that are available on Cisco U, a series of tutorials to help you build new skills, and a lot of ways to get started with things like Splunk or AI infrastructure, or even how to embed network security more efficiently into your infrastructure. The last thing I'll say is this. You know, Doug, the thing I love about Cisco Live is we get to talk to our community a lot. And a lot of feedback that we got from our community was, help us build communication skills. You know, now with AI, I'm getting asked a lot of questions. I'm getting asked, how can I advocate for new parts of the network? Or help me build critical thinking skills. So we put out 4 new no-cost tutorials on u.cisco.com that can help a network engineer explain what deploying VLANs actually gets, what outcome does that drive? So we have a tutorial on how to talk to executives, a tutorial on how to build a one-pager to propose an idea, and even tutorials on how to build problem-solving and critical thinking skills. All of these changes, though, really reflect kind of what the expectation is of network engineers. And, that's always evolving. And that's why we at Cisco always feel the need to make sure that we're on the cutting edge, that we're keeping our certifications and our training, and of course our community with all of the latest and greatest that we can help with.
Ryan, as a logistical thing, we're in kind of this, to describe people that are watching this at home or in their office. We're in this sort of big corridor on the way to the exhibit hall, and there's sort of this little off ramp. And off to the off ramp, there's a big room that says exams.
Yes.
And those are your people, is that right?
Yes. The exams team is in my organization. We take so much pride in building those exams, whether they are, we have a new AI practitioner exam, and that's for really anybody to be able to take, to be able to validate skills. And that exam is very different than the new CCNA exam that we're working on, where we're going to have all of those embedded lablets, so that way we can test your practical knowledge. And then, of course, we have a team of people all around the world that spend so much time in building the experiences that we have for CCIE. Exam building and item writing and all of the crafting that goes into a great exam. Cisco is so lucky to have people that have been working for the last 20 years helping to create these exams. Yusuf Baji, who's the leader of that team, he's someone that I think is probably synonymous with global certifications. We are so benefited, not just Cisco, but I think our community overall, to have such deep wisdom and expertise in how these exams are created. And yeah, if you go right down at Cisco Live, we have people that are taking their first Cisco certification exam. We have people that are taking their latest. Right now, one of the more popular ones is CCNP automation. We have a lot of people that are trying to build up those automation skills to help their organizations adopt AI. I love being here because there's nothing like being able to hang out in that room and see someone pass an exam, and like, everyone's super excited, everyone's giving each other high fives. And heck, on the other side, we have people, they were close, but they didn't make it. And then we're talking to them about, hey, here's how you can try it again. Here's where you can go. Here's what we would advise. And yeah, I love this event because we're able to get so close to our community.
For people that have never experienced, in the technology world, as we know, there's a lot of homegrown knowledge, and some people that run without. Make the case for me. I'm running an MSP, or maybe I'm at a large enterprise or a medium-sized enterprise. I'm going to have to convince someone to help me get the resources to do the certification process. Why does it benefit me, and why does it benefit the organization?
Oh, I mean, that to me is one of those questions. I think the heart of that question comes from the feeling of, I'm getting tapped on the shoulder a lot to do a lot of things.
Okay.
I gotta, I don't have a lot of time. Learning is not my first job. When I look though at every really great network engineer that I work with, every great architect, every great developer that I work with, they always make time for learning. I don't know if every person starts a learning journey thinking that they want to get certified, but I know that if you really want to drive success in IT, whether you're at an MSP or a large enterprise, you are staying at just the edge of where skills are going. It's what helps you be able to adopt and adapt to new technologies. And also, I think as we also become more experienced, it helps us pull our fellow engineers along. And so what I would say is this, to make the case, don't think of it from a certification standpoint first. Think of it as learning first. Think of it as skilling first. That it's important to always stay at where this industry is moving to. Whether it was, what was it, 17 years ago, and I was talking to people about cloud, or 10 years ago and I was talking to them about APIs. Now I'm talking to you about AI and all of these new ways to run orchestration. I would say being a great engineer is about being curious and learning, and certification can follow with that, because there's nothing better than learning those skills and then validating that you have them.
Ryan, I really want to thank you for taking time out here at a very busy Cisco Live. Thank you for making the case for certification and walking us through the revamped certification process built for the AI age. Where can we learn more about Learn with Cisco?
Oh, that's great. So for the last 20 years, Cisco has had this amazing community online. It's called the Cisco Learning Network. So you can go there. You can also go to learn.cisco.com. You can go to u.cisco.com. There's so many places where you can go to find all of the information about our certifications. It can also be, I know a lot of people are just going to go into their Google or go into their favorite AI and type away. Look up Cisco certifications, you'll find your link. But more than anything, I would say a lot of people are out there, they're always trying to say, Doug, how do I get started? Go to u.cisco.com. We have so many tutorials that can help you get started on everything from collaboration to security, from AI to zero trust. And so, yeah, I would say find us. We're out there and we're ready to help.
Ryan Rose, everybody. Learn with Cisco. Ryan, thank you very much indeed.
Hey, Doug, thank you.